Imagine if you were sent 3,000 light-years away from our world to another planet, and upon arriving there, you zoomed in on Earth using a high-powered full telescope. You would witness the events that happened on Earth 3,000 years ago, such as the time when the ancient Egyptians built pyramids. This means that this powerful telescope would act as a time machine, allowing you to observe the past, although you wouldn't be able to physically travel back to the Earth of that time. However, you would certainly be able to see it. Now, step out of your imagination and visualize this machine, because this is the telescope that has the capability to observe galaxies, stars, and planets billions of light years away from our world. After 30 years of continuous efforts, this telescope, known as the James Webb Space Telescope, has finally been built, costing around $10 billion and involving the hard work of thousands of engineers. It is the most powerful and complex telescope in the world. NASA now has something that can unveil the hidden mysteries and past of this universe. But the question is, how can this telescope see whatever happened billions of years ago? How does this telescope work, and what can we see through it? To answer these questions, it is necessary for us to first understand how we perceive things. When we enter a dark room, even though our eyes are open, we cannot see anything. But as soon as the light is turned on, we can start seeing everything. This means that when the room was dark, all those objects were still there, but we couldn't see them. However, when the light reflects from all those objects after the light is turned on, we can start seeing everything. This means that light is very important for us to see anything. Light travels at a speed of 300,000 kilometers per second, so it takes hardly any time to spread within a small room. But when this same light spreads in our vast universe, it obviously takes time to travel from one place to another. There is a distance of about 384,000 kilometers between the Moon and Earth. When the sunlight collides with the Moon and reaches Earth, then only we can see the Moon, and it takes about 1¼ seconds for this light to reach from the Moon to Earth. This means that the Moon we are seeing is actually 1.25 seconds old. Here is Saturn, which is a planet in our own solar system and is quite far from Earth. The distance from Earth to Saturn is approximately 1,600,000,000 kilometers. Light, which travels at a speed of 300,000 kilometers per second, takes about 5,333 seconds or 1½ hours to travel from Saturn to Earth. This means that the Saturn we see from Earth is actually 1½ hours old. Even if Saturn were to break into pieces at this moment, it would still appear the same for 1½ hours. So, it can be said that we are seeing Saturn's past. In space science, distances are measured not in kilometers but in light years or light hours. A light hour is the distance traveled by light in 1 hour, and a light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. As you already know, it takes 1½ hours for light to travel from Saturn to Earth, so we can say that Saturn is about 1.5 light hours away from Earth. Now let's move beyond our solar system. The universe is enormous. The galaxy you see in this image is the Milky Way galaxy, and the tiny dot you see somewhere here is our solar system. The Milky Way galaxy has expanded to about 125,000 light years. This means it would take about 125,000 years for light to travel from one corner of our galaxy to the other. But the astonishing fact is that there are so many galaxies in this universe, but our eyes cannot see them because their light is so faint due to their immense distance that our eyes cannot capture it. But still, if we want to see these galaxies and the planets within them, we use telescopes. Inside a telescope, there is a curved mirror that reflects even a tiny amount of light onto a focal point, which multiply the faint light. The more light a telescope can gather, the more things it can see in space. The Hubble telescope, launched in year 1990, can even observe galaxies that are 10 billion light years away from our solar system. This system of Hubble is also called the Deep Field. The picture you see is the one captured by the Hubble Deep Field, and in reality, we are observing these galaxies in their past. It is so distant that when the light you see from these galaxies was emitted, our own world didn't even exist. Yes, this version of galaxies you see, the light emitted from them actually originated 10 billion years ago, and has reached us today, while the Earth itself was formed 4.5 billion years ago. Now the question arises, if the Hubble telescope can observe galaxies in their past, then why do we need the James Webb Space Telescope? The Hubble telescope was upgraded to have a 2.4-meter mirror, while the James Webb Telescope has a 6.5-meter mirror. The Hubble telescope has the capability to gather light 100 times more than the human eye, whereas the James Webb Space Telescope will be able to gather light 1 million times more than the human eye. Engineers say that the James Webb Telescope is so powerful that if it were placed on the moon, it could even see a small candle light on Earth. Not only that, but the James Webb Space Telescope is capable of detecting infrared light. According to science, as galaxies and stars move away from us, and their light gets converted into infrared light as it reaches us. Neither the Hubble telescope nor the human eye can detect infrared light, but with the help of the James Webb Space Telescope, we will be able to identify those galaxies that exist in the universe but cannot be seen. The main mirror of this telescope is designed in 18 segments, so that it can be folded when placed in a space shuttle. Once it reaches its designated position in space, the mirror will be unfolded again. Because the James Webb Telescope is designed to detect infrared light, so it is crucial for this telescope to be extremely cold in space. Its mirror side should not receive even a slight warmth from the sun. That's why its direction will be opposite to the sun, while its backside is layered with sunshield layers. After opening the sunshield, it spreads to the size of a tennis court. All of this is so complex that if even a small mistake occurs during its deployment in space, millions of dollars and years of hard work could be wasted in an instant. On 25 December 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope was launched into space for eternity. It has been parked at a point approximately 1,500,000 kilometers away from Earth. Comment down if you want another part of this video and subscribe our channel for more informative video.